Okay, awkward stare done. Now it's time to broadcast live. Oh, we already are. Okay, you weren't supposed to see that. My bad. My bad. Mary Boblet says, Wheezy, I really want a window decal for my car to help advertise for you. Would you consider designing one to sell on the DFTBA site? That's actually amazing. I'm going to take note of that. I've been meaning to think about new merch, and I think that might be the thing. Car decal. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. Could do like just a subtle little beard logo on the car. What do you think of that? I like it. Hi, Mark. Hi, Red Sateen. Hi, Corey DeRoos. Hi. And Red Sateen would get one too. And Mark Dowdy. Hello. I already said hi to you twice now. Oh, hi, Mark. You probably get that all the time. I don't care. I'm going to keep doing it. Oh, hi, Mark. It's from the movie The Room. It's supposedly the world's greatest bad movie ever made. I also saw Troll 2 in a movie theater, though, and that was a pretty awesome, terrible movie. Saw it at the Music Box in Chicago, and a couple of the cast members were there, and they were shooting a documentary all about the movie Troll 2. And they were going on tour with the movie. And we saw it. And there's a chance I'm in the documentary. I don't know. I haven't seen the documentary. But the movie is really good and terrible. Red Satin, that's what everyone calls you. But how do you pronounce it? I said it right, Red Sateen. Ha. Sometimes I get things right, you know? Sometimes I don't. Yeah, The Room is very bad, Mark. Have you seen it in a theater? They throw spoons, plastic spoons. The audience throws plastic spoons anytime a spoon is on screen because there's lots of spoons. How many times can I say spoon? Wow, spoon. Spoon. Do you like the band Spoon? Or what about the song Spoon Man by Soundgarden? Spoon. Do you scoop with a spoon? Do you scoop ice cream with a spoon? Do you eat soup with a spoon? You probably should. Eating with a fork would not be good. Birdemic is the worst movie of all time. The Room is close, though. Both have riff tracks available to improve them. Salutations, Benjamin. Have you seen Savannah? Have you seen Troll 2 though? Because Troll 2 pretty bad and goodly bad. I remember just really having a really good time with that bad movie. Now I just sent everyone that I was live now, but I don't know if it sent. Yes, it did. Okay, it just went to a friggin' blank page. Come on, Patreon. The Patreon messaging system is a little flawed. They may have improved it. They did just revamp it. Speaking of, I am going to revamp the Patreon page. I'm going to have a new header. I'm going to have new perks and artwork and a welcome video, which I haven't done any of yet. But I'm going to. So perks are going to be different and moved. But everyone who has a perk where they're at on Patreon right now, that's where you stay. You were grandfathered in, unless you want to move to somewhere else in the perkdom. But I'm going to change it, revamp it, with the goal of doing it by mid-April. But we'll see. We got a lot going on, guys. There's a lot of things going on. I may have overextended myself. That's okay. I have clones. I have a list of several things to talk about. But first, let's read Madeline Gerlach's poem that she wrote to me on Patreon after I asked for poems in my message to let you know that I'm going to be live. She's the only person who sent a poem, and that makes me sad. But it also makes me happy because I got a poem. You ready for this? She says it's not her best. It was 1 a.m. and she was on medications. And they haven't. But here goes. There was a bearded waiter, wheezing left and right, to pay his bills he worked at night. Though making videos was his true delight, he continued making videos, over 1,010 years. His whole life changed, he cried happy tears. One day I watched a video and instantly was charmed. They were everything I needed. My heart warmed. Warmed? Should I say warmed? That's probably fine. Well, thank you. That was a wonderful poem, and it made me feel good because it was about me. Flattery will get you everywhere. It's Aaron, not math. Miss Math says, just got it. Just got Well, you just got the movie The Room? Hi, I'm broadcasting live.
I know. I'm going to give you this baby monitor so I can run my errand.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
I got to go get paint sample things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye. Go get paint swatches.
Paint swatches.
Why are we getting paint swatches? Because we're moving.
Again.
But this time.
We're going to live, we own it.
We're going to live, we own it.
And stuff. Bye.
You want to say anything else? Bye. 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 Miss your clones and singing rug. Miss those funny episodes. Well, I appreciate that you miss them. There's over 1,000 of them out there, and maybe they will return sometimes. But right now, I'm working on some other stuff. Tastefully include them. I know you can hear her too, Red Sateen. I'm just, I'm just having a little fun. Just having a little fun. No pressure. When might we get another story in that story? I don't know. There's a lot on our plates right now. But yeah, I'm sorry we keep putting that off. It's not the highest on the priority list. How did China do being away from Ada? She was away from Ada for a couple days. Fine. I mean, I think she needed a little break, and Ada did fine. She actually seems more upset when China's around, we've discovered. And I think that's a common thing, apparently. She feels like she can whine and stuff to her mother. I don't know. She was great. I was a Mr. Dad there for a while, and it was fun. I think I've watched 700 plus videos of yours in the past month. Oh dear. I need to make more. Okay. Still liking the EOS R? Yes, actually. I love it. I just did my Patreon only video for Friday. It had weird lighting, and I thought I was going to end up looking weird. I thought it looked great and crisp, like crisper than it would have with my old camera. So compared to what I was using, which was an old camera, still good camera, but an old camera, it's obviously better. I can't say that it's the best camera out there because I haven't tried them all. But really, I can't imagine anything being anything at the same price level, maybe even a little less, being that a little less, a little more, being much different. Like there might be some subtle visual quality or some setting that it doesn't have, and it's fine because I think this is great. It's easy to use, and it has a flippy screen, which a lot of the other ones at the same level don't. It's just nice, guys. It's a nice camera. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. And some nice, like the silent autofocus lens I use, super convenient, and that's the convenient way of saying convenient. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, okay, that was a poem. Mark Dowdy asks, stove updates? How was China? You just saw her, and she's doing great. Will Ada say her new words to us? This and more at noon. Whoosh. That was like a newscast outro, even though you said this at more. Mark, it was a typo. Anywho. So China's doing good. Stove update. Here's the thing. When did I talk about stoves last? I believe in a Patreon only daily vlog. I talked about stoves. And the reason I talked about stoves is because we bought a house. Don't think I told everyone but the Patreon vlog. They might be the only people that know. But now, all of you live streamers, anyone who's in the live stream knows. Yeah, bought a house in Madison, Wisconsin. And we are going to live in it. But we've never bought a house. I've never bought a house before. So we do move a lot. We won't be moving for a while because this one's a little more perm, if you know what I mean. Not like we have a perm, you know what I mean. So I'm very excited about it. But we're gonna get a new stove. soon, probably soon after the move, or maybe right away. I don't know. Yeah, we're going to live there for at least 4 months. That's like what they say you need to do, right? To buy a house, to make it worth it, you have to live there for at least 4 months. Common knowledge. So the stove, we're going to buy a gas stove. My gas stove only had a bottom broiler. I had to lay it on the floor to check my melts. Oh dear. Well, we're going to get a new fandangled stove. Should I go into details? My sister works for Sub-Zero Wolf, which they do like really high-end appliances, but she gets a big discount, and we're gonna family discount, so we're gonna utilize that. Like we would never buy this high-end of a stove, but and probably a fridge eventually, but and a dishwasher. But we're gonna probably get some high-end appliances based on who I know. You know, it's my family. My family. Gotta keep it in the family. But that's how you talk. You talk like you're constipated to be a mobster. That's how you talk like a mobster. Keep it in the family. And so we're gonna get a gas stove because we like gas stoves better than electric. It seems like most people like gas stoves better than electric. But Red Sateen said you had a dual stove, and that sounds nice too. Yeah. Live stream auction. Interesting. That is pretty interesting. I don't know though. You'd love to own something from the Benzines. Maybe. I'll consider it. I don't want to make it special though. I wouldn't want to just pawn off our junk, you know. I wouldn't want to make it seem like we're exploiting our junk, exploiting the audience and pawning off our junk, you know. Probably want to pick out special items if we were to get rid of some. We actually don't have a lot of, we get rid of stuff on a regular basis, so we don't have a whole lot of stuff. Well, there'll probably be stuff to get rid of. So, yeah, stove, new house. We're going back and forth to Madison all the time right now, so that's adding to the time being taken up, production time being taken up. So here's what I'm going to do. My next video is about why do people like getting up early. And initially it's just going to be in general, like talking about how we get up early now because we have a kid, and there's all these videos and articles about people saying you should get up early, it's good. CEOs get up early, celebrities that get up early that are super successful. Mark Wahlberg gets up at 2:30 a.m. Every day, which is ridiculous. And then he goes to the gym like 3 times every day. But like talk about why you'd want to get up, figure out why people like getting up early. Initially, that was all it was going to be, but I've decided today that I'm going to attempt this next week, partially just for this video, but partially I may want to continue this for real because I really think this will help. Getting up at 4:30 a.m. Getting up because our baby gets up at 6 every day, and trying to get up. Sometimes I get up a little later. China gets up to nurse her right away, but I feel like I need some. It needs to be a time of day where I have no distractions, and I think that's the only way I can do it. That's it, because if I get up when China does, and then it's baby stuff, and then it's like, then I can work while China's watching the baby, but there's still like, you know, people around. There's distractions. When you're in the middle of the day, there's like, that's when I'll get emails. That's when Twitter and the internet will be going full force. If I get up super early and I have this time where everyone's asleep, the internet is asleep, at least in my general time zone vicinity, and I think it'll help me get work done, and it'll probably just help me mentally in general to have a more strict sleep schedule. So it is a little loosey-goosey. So this next week, getting up at 4:30 a.m. I'm gonna document my experience. And Mary said maybe it'll help me sleep through the night. That is true, which was why I was taking I was attempting to take CBD oil, was to see if it would help my sleep. And for a video, I've only taken it that one time, and then I had it in a beer. There's a CBD oil beer, and I still haven't taken it again yet because I don't know. I just haven't felt ready to. Like I didn't really. I'm iffy about the whole thing. I probably will take it again in a very small dose, but I don't know if I want to commit to a month or not, because like, what if it's not doing good things for me? That still might be an interesting video, but I'm not going to do it right now because other news, I'm going to Japan, April 16th through the 20th, and I don't want to mess up my whole psyche and sleep before going to Japan. So, Savannah says that she doesn't like how CBD interacts with alcohol. It makes her heart a little jumpy. I did feel a little weird too. But I don't know. I'm always weird about, well, I'm a little weird about medication in general, but like CBD, but marijuana and hemp and that whole plant, I've always been a little iffy about, especially. So I don't know. I don't know about it. Anywho, I did actually the past few days sleep better just because I set myself a strict bedtime. I tried to go to bed like right at 9. So I'm really trying to fix my sleep because I'm always waking up in the middle of the night. Last night I did wake up for a long time in the middle of the night. I woke up and like I was laying there for a while. I'm like, oh, just thinking and not being able to sleep. And then I was like, oh, we didn't run the dishwasher. So I went down, turned the dishwasher on, went back up, laid down, laid awake for a while. Dishwasher buzzer went off. It was done. That's how long I was awake. The full dishwasher cycle and then some after that. And so last night wasn't a good sleep night. But it was also, I think we stayed up a little later. China got home a little later. Just a little weird of a day. So tonight, I'm going to try to go to bed super early, get up at 4:30. Probably feel terrible the first day. Get up and then keep getting up at 4:30 until all is right with the world. And then I go to Japan and mess up my sleep completely. Linda says you should listen to your body and don't mess with CBD any further. You might be right. You might be right about that. Yeah, and I also am iffy about doing a video about my experience too, because I don't know. I don't want to encourage people to just experiment with stuff like that if they're not ready to, you know. So that's where I'm at. I think that really might help me. I'm really actually looking forward to getting up at 4:30, and I think it might help. I think it might. See, like with CBD, I was like iffy that the whole thing was going to do anything for me at all, or it might make it worse. But I'm really thinking getting up at 4:30 will do good things. I'm optimistic about it. Melatonin helps Savannah sleep better. I've heard that. I have a friend who gave me some melatonin to take. I haven't taken it, but I also have heard that people feel like they have like a sleep hangover from it. Like the sleep they get is weird, or they don't feel so rested in the next day. That might not be true for you, but I don't know. Anyway, so I'm not taking CBD oil because of how I reacted to it partially, and partially I'm going to Japan, and I don't want to do it while going to Japan. Getting up super early for a week, or from now on, but then I'm going to Japan, which will mess me up again, but we'll work it out. And the reason I'm going to Japan is I'm working on a documentary with a friend about the Green Bay Packers. I have a friend, a businessman, who goes to Japan on like every 2 months for business, and he ran into this group of huge Green Bay Packer fans in Japan. They're all Japanese, and he was like, "What?" So he made plans. He flew them to a Packer game in Lambeau Field in Green Bay and documented the experience. And got some interviews, and I've been editing all that stuff. But now I'm going to Japan and interviewing more people, and just making a documentary out of it that he wants to make. And it might end up, I don't know, we're going to try to shop it around, end up wherever it ends up. Probably not YouTube, but I will share it with all of you patrons once it's done, or maybe even before it's done. So you'll get to see it regardless. So I'm working on that on top of the Why Do People Like Waking Up Early video, which will go up mid-April. Then I'm making a ways to reduce internet from your life, like practical ways, not just about quitting the internet like our other video, but actual ways you can reduce your internet. And I'm making a video for the YouTube Creators channel. After I did my 4 rules that turned my channel around, or resurrected my channel, I got contacted by a friend of mine who works for YouTube, who said, hey, you want to do a video for our channel that we help teach people how to make YouTube videos? So I'm doing a video all about B-roll. Yeah, Mark says, that sounds awesome. He had no idea that a huge American football team was collectively owned. Yes, it's owned by the town of Green Bay. It's the only team. Last I heard, it was the only professional sports team in the country that is collectively owned, which is weird and awesome, kind of awesome. I'll talk about that in the documentary. I think they talk about that, like in the interviews with the Japanese Packer fans. They talk about like they're asked like, why the Green Bay Packers? What's the big deal about them? And partly I think they talk about how it's collectively owned, but also that it's a tiny town. It's not for a sports team, a professional sports team. It's a pretty small town, and it's like a town of 100,000 people, a stadium I think that holds 60,000 or something, and they sell it out all the time, which is crazy. And it just resonated with them. So it's pretty interesting. I'm not huge into football, but I am from Wisconsin, so I have to be a fan of the Packers, and I do know a bit about football. So making that documentary, that's going to be a lot of work for several months. But in the meantime, I'm still doing all this other stuff. The channel for the YouTube creators is about B-roll. I wrote that, and I'm going to probably shoot that pretty soon, and it's great. I think it's going to be fantastic. I kind of wish I was putting it on my channel, but that's okay. I think it's going to be good for that channel, and I think it'll let people know who I am. Maybe I'll get some subscribees from it. They're also paying me to do it, which is nice. It's about like why to use B-roll, how to use B-roll, where I get B-roll, like, you know, all the extra footage I throw in, and I think it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be a good one. I'll definitely let you know about it when it's up. It won't be in the subscriber box. Your subscriber feed, subscriber box. That's what it used to be way back in the early days of YouTube. Unless you're subscribed to the YouTube creator channel. So doing the B-roll thing, doing the practical ways of the internet. I was going to be doing CBD for a month video, but that might be on the back burner. Might do a video about moving. Like, I don't know what that's going to be. Why do people like to buy versus rent, or why do people like to buy houses? Something like that. I don't know. B-roll is, well, I explained it in the video. It's all that extra footage I use. Like, that's not me talking. B-roll, like when I talk and I cut away to, what's like a good example? Like, I think that basically explains it. I think you know what I'm talking about. But like the sugar video where I say, putting sugar helps people, you know, lose weight, blah, blah, blah. I don't even think I said lose weight. So with their health, it helps them grow a third eye that only sees truth. And I show like a third eye, zoom in, become an all-seeing, all-knowing space baby at the center of the universe. And I show that. That's B-roll. It's just other footage that supplements or complements what I'm saying, which a lot of people don't do in their vlogs when they don't think to do it, or they just don't know how, or they don't know where to find it. which I do think makes videos sometimes, depends on the video. Sometimes you don't need B-roll, but often I think makes it a little pop a little more, makes what you're explaining a little more effective for people. Buying versus renting seems like a title that would appeal to both sides of the argument. That's true. Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily want to make it an argument though, because it's like buying versus renting, it really depends on a lot of things. Look at my fingers. They do weird stuff, don't they? I have very bendy fingers. Look at that. Gross. Are you grossed out? Because it really depends on how much money you have, how much money you make, how long you plan to live in a place, where you're going to move to, like what home prices and property values in the place that you want to live, how flexible you want to be, like if you plan on moving around, seeing the world. Really depends on a lot of things. I guess that's all interesting to talk about, but I feel like you can find that in a lot of places. A lot of people talk about that. If I just do like, why do people like buying a house? Put my own little stank on it. You know what I mean? My own little spin on it. Make it more of a personal thing. Talk about, well, yeah, like don't really make any claims like, well, this is better or this is worse. Just sort of like, this is why people like buying houses. I don't know. Thinking about it. I'm workshopping it. I'll figure it out. I think the main roadblock to buying is upfront cost. It's cheaper monthly usually. It depends. Depends on the home. Depends on taxes and such. Like the home we're getting, not necessarily cheap, right? Like our monthly isn't necessarily cheap. It would have been, depends on where we want to live though. Like comparably, rent could have been that much or more. We're definitely paying less now than we're going to be because we're living in our friend's house and they are not charging us very much at all. But that can't last forever. They want to sell their house. So it just depends on a lot of things. Just depends. I do think owning, one thing I'm excited about owning is, like you said, Savannah said, owning a house is like owning a pet. Renting is like pet sitting. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I haven't owned the house yet. I haven't lived in an owned house yet, but looking forward to having something that feels permanent, that feels like ours, and then that we can take ownership of and improve things the way we want to, and not feel, and it won't even feel that risky to improve things because it will increase property value when we purchase things and improve things. So I just like the idea of it feeling like mine, feeling permanent, feeling like I don't have to worry about rent going up or owners selling the property, which has happened to me, or like I'll be secure in knowing that I'm in control and that I'm going to live at this place as long as I want, which will be a long time because we have a baby, and we're near her grandparents. It's a perfect location. So there. Yes, my parents are very happy that we'll be closer. But hey, parents, it's not going to be like a everybody loves Raymond scenario. My parents aren't coming over every day. Okay, keep a distance. Okay, mom and dad. But maybe on the weekends or every other weekend or every other weekend. No, it'll be more than that probably because they live pretty close, at least at first. One thing an owner house gives you, garden. Yes, and we do have a space for a garden, and I really want to have a garden, even though we live in Wisconsin. So we'll live in Wisconsin, so you'll only have a garden for like, I think 3 weeks out of the year. It's not winter, when it's not winter. That's an exaggeration. So yeah, that's about it for today. I hope I've caught y'all up. I think this month might be the month of the big Patreon change that I do to the page, the update. to the page. So be on the lookout for that. And dang, car decal. That sounds like a great idea. WheezyWaiter car decal. Hmm. 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 All right. You're beautiful. Thank you guys for the support. And wait, Red said, Teen, are you asking any idea how I'm doing it? Doing what? The car decal? Oh, doing the Patreon changes. Well, like I said, it's not going to change what you're doing now. I'm not going to change your tier level or anything. There will be new tiers, and your tier may go away or be different. But what you have now is not going to change. You're grandfathered in. So don't worry about that. But if you want to change, you can look at the tiers. So there you go. Thank you guys for the support. I'm going to go take a nap right now because, like I said, I did not get a lot of sleep. And then I'm going to hopefully not nap too long so that I can get up at 4:30 tomorrow morning and the next day and the next day and the next day and work on beautiful things for you. Okay. Yeah. Bye, everybody.